enough with the paleo diet. As you know, the paleo diet is based on the notion that we should be eating just as our ancestors ate many thousands of years ago. Things like meat, vegetables, fruits, and nuts. Definitely no grain since there was no agricultural farming. The paleo people do not like us pointing out that Paleolithic man only lived until about 30 years old because they like to give us a lecture on the difference between averages and mode. And of course, if we took out all those children dying, then naturally the life expectancy of Paleolithic man will have increased. First of all, some of us don't need a lecture on the definition of average. Second, the simple fact is that Paleolithic man didn't live near long enough to develop the conditions and chronic illnesses that are associated with long-term meat and fat consumption. But anyway, just because Paleolithic man did it, or because it's natural, doesn't make it good. But here's my biggest issue. Why aren't there any scientific or observational studies, and preferably long-term, although I understand how much that is a challenge, that show a paleo diet pitted against a truly healthy diet, one that includes grains such as quinoa, amaranth, or millet? Of course, if we take out bagels, Doritos, and a bunch of whole wheat wraps, we're gonna probably feel better and lose weight. And by the way, for all these people who are screaming about the fact that all these extra carbs turns into fat, what do you think happens to all that extra protein? Fat! Oh, I know you're going to start lecturing on the metabolizing of all that sugar and the insulin response. You know, I just recently noticed some studies on the insulin response to meat protein. For all those diabetics out there, I would suggest checking it out. Are there huge issues with agriculture, soil degradation, less robust grains, government subsidies in all the wrong places? Yes. Are there too many processed grains in our diet? Yeah, probably. Almost assuredly. Are whole foods and minimally processed foods desirable? Absolutely. But what are the long-term consequences of a paleo diet? And not even only the long-term, what about the medium term and even the shorter term? I'm likely to have to revisit this because there are so many topics to discuss here. In the meantime, I would love to hear your comments, your experiences, good and bad, and I would equally love to hear comments from the paleo community. So feel free to comment below, and please remember to subscribe to this channel. Remember, I love to talk about things that keep smart people like you from doing dumb things. Oh, there's a rabbit.